What is the primary function of Microsoft Entra ID? It is a cloud-based identity and access management service designed to help organizations manage and secure access to resources. What three components must be configured to set up a traditional Active Directory environment? A server-based operating system like Windows Server operating system, and the Active Directory services feature. What are three examples of authentication protocols typically used in an on-premise Active Directory environment? NTLM, Kerberos, and LDAP. In an on-premise Active Directory, governance is typically managed using what objects? What is a tenant in the context of Microsoft Entra ID? A representation of an organization in the cloud created when the organization signs up for a Microsoft Cloud service. When a new tenant is created for a Microsoft Cloud service, what identity service is automatically configured in the backend? Microsoft Entra ID. What administrative role is assigned to the first user who creates a Microsoft Entra ID tenant? The global administrator role, which provides the highest level of access. Microsoft Entra ID uses modern web-based authentication protocols such as DAS, OpenID Connect, and SAML. OAuth. Web-based authentication protocols like SAML and OAuth depend on what protocol for secure communication? HTTPS. What Microsoft tool is used to synchronize existing Active Directory to Microsoft Entra ID? Entra ID Connect. A user account that exists in an on-premise Active Directory and is also synced to Microsoft Entra ID is described as being in a DAS state. Hybrid. What feature of Entra ID Connect allows changes made in the cloud, such as a password reset, to be synchronized back to the on-premise? The write back feature. If password write back is not enabled for a hybrid user, what is the consequence of them resetting their password in the cloud? The user will have to manage two different passwords, one for the cloud and their old one for the on-premise environment. Torn identity. An object that can be authenticated. Torn account. The data that is associated with an identity. The free plan of Microsoft Entra ID includes features like single sign-on and supports up to how many objects? Up to 500,000 objects. Upgrading from the free version of Entra ID to a premium P1 or P2 plan is necessary for managing features like DAS and identity governance. Privileged Identity Management (PIM). Privileged Identity Management. What is the name of the feature in Microsoft Entra ID that allows users to reset their own passwords without administrator assistance? Self-Service Password Reset (SSPR). What are the three possible enablement statuses for the self-service password reset SSPR feature? none, selected, or all. When configuring self-service password reset SSPR for a selected group of users, what is the maximum number of groups you can choose? You can only choose one group at a time. True or false? When configuring SSPR for a selected group, that group can contain other nested groups. True. Nesting is allowed. What is the primary security concern with using predefined secret questions as an SSPR authentication method? The answers can often be discovered through social engineering or by researching a user's social media presence. To enhance the security of secret questions in SSPR, what capability does Microsoft Entra ID provide? It allows administrators to create custom questions that are less likely to be found on social media. What is the mandatory SSPR registration requirement for all administrators, regardless of the policy set for other users? Administrators are always required to register two different authentication methods. The SSPR feature in the free version of Microsoft Entra ID is limited to what type of user accounts. It is only available for cloud-only user accounts. What is the key limitation of SSPR for users on the free Entra ID plan? They can only reset their password if they know their existing password. In which Entra ID plans can hybrid users reset a forgotten password or unlock their account via SSP? In the Premium P1 and Premium P2, if an authentication request for a hybrid user accessing office.com is sent to Entra ID, what must have been configured for Entra ID to recognize the user? The user must have been synced from on-premise ID to the cloud using Entra ID Connect. If a user is created directly in the Entra ID cloud environment, will that user automatically be created in the on-premise Active Directory by default? No, there is no such connection by default using Entra Connect. Under what circumstance would protocols like NTLM, Kerberos, and LDAP be made available in the cloud via Entra ID? They can be made available to support legacy applications that require them. When configuring SSPR with secret questions, how many questions can a user be required to register? They can be required to register between 3 and 5 questions.